for me, the biggest takeaway is the same exact thing we've told the players throughout this tournament, is that our goal is to just get better each day. And so we're going to, we were able to get better in this game, and we're just going to continue to push to get better. We always knew that this was going to be a strong opponent. It's a very talented Jamaica team that can hurt you in many different ways. So again, there's a lot of learning moments for us, and at the same time, I think there's a lot of great responses that we saw tonight. So we'll build on the positives, and again, continue to navigate group play one step at a time.
I don't know if anything was lacking. It was just kind of the first game of the tournament. We've only been together for a couple of days, so it was just kind of getting those nerves out of the way, but I thought we played well. Obviously, Jamaica was a really top team that had a lot of talented players, and St. Kitts is another great team that we need to win against, so it's going to be an important game for us.
Not a win, Herc, a draw. Is it a good result for the United States?
It's a massive result for the United States, especially the way this game was trending, If you look at how it was trending, they could have had 2-0 30 minutes in. They score that. Leon Bailey scores that, a penalty that he should have put away. You can say what you want about Matt Turner. He's been massive in penalty kicks, I believe. Out of 6, they've only made 2. On Matt Turner, he's been that good. But you have a penalty kick, you should feel good about scoring, about making the penalty kick. You miss it, but you get a second bite of that apple. Open net on your right foot, and I mean open net. And he botches it. Leon Bailey botches it. Jamaica goes from a potential 2-0 up 30 minutes in. That would have then made the U.S. men's national team chase the game, open themselves up, and allow Jamaica to carve them up with that front line. This is a massive result for the U.S. men's national team. For long stretches of this game, you could say, yeah, they controlled possession. Yeah, they had some dangerous opportunities as well. But allow Jamaica to dictate that pace. Allow Jamaica to be the aggressor. And if you look at this Jamaican team, if you look at who coaches him, it was the old Icelandic coach who had that sweet Cinderella run with Iceland in the 2016 World Cup, or Euro, who made the World Cup for the first time with Iceland. Yes, the dentist, Herculez. When you look at that this Jamaica team is getting better. When you look at the front line that they have, starting with Bobby Reid in the midfield, as you like to inject him there, and then Damari Gray, Mikel Antonio, Leon Bailey, that type of pedigree, nobody in the U.S. men's national team has that pedigree. So when you look at all these factors and the fact that they could have been down 2-0 30 minutes in, this is a massive result for them.
Yeah. Good result, Herc, I'll give you that, but bad performance, right? We hear a lot of the rhetoric now saying, well, it's the first game of the Gold Cup, and I think that makes a lot of sense, not just because it's the first game of this tournament, but because it is a lot of guys who have not played together at this level. That said, Herc, you were on a Gold Cup winning team in 2013. How much can you truly chalk up to, this was his first game jitters, the team didn't look that good, or moving forward, do you actually have some cause for concern with this group?
Well, I've always had cause for concern with this group because it's not the same group that won the Nations League. It's not even close. Listen, I've been in these two-camp teams, right? Copa America 2007, there was a team that played the Gold Cup, that won the Gold Cup versus Mexico, Benny Falharbor Golazo, and then there was our group who was overlapping with that team and had to play Copa America, and it was a glorified, U23 team. It was a secondary, third team, if you will, that went into Venezuela in that Copa America. And you feel the distance from what one team achieved and your reality. And I think it's the same thing here. You could say it's the same crest, it's the same program, but it's not the same team, and that's where people get confused. So to put that much stock on terrible performance, sure, granted who you were playing, and you can say what you want about Jamaica. I still think Jamaica on paper is probably the better team here. This is a B team, and it's B.J. Callahan who's still navigating the ropes by himself. With this team that, didn't play well, but I didn't think they were going to play well in this game. I had it chalked up as a draw. It ended up as a draw, just not in the way I had anticipated. But my hopes for the U.S. men's national team aren't that high in this go-around. It'd be high if it was the A team.
Yeah, it's B team versus A team. It's come from behind. And I think most importantly, Herc, had they lost, you know what that would have meant for the bracket, right? That means you're probably going in as a second-place team. Maybe Mexico then in the semifinal instead of the final, although maybe the days of avoiding Mexico are well in the past now. But still, this keeps the U.S. alive. In fact, it keeps very much their destiny in their own hands to win the group. And that is super important if the goal here is for this young group to get to a final and win this tournament, isn't it?
It's the most important thing here. Now, you could say what you want about Mexico and them not being in the best moment possible, but they're picking up steam. And they're also the strongest team on paper. they're the team that is the closest to their actual A team with all players that are actually available. That is the A team. So you would say you want to avoid a team like that, a team that's on the up, if you will, at the moment. And in the U.S., Mexico is always a toss-up. It's always a battle. You don't want to face them in a semifinal. You want to face them, if you can, in a final. So now the destiny's in your own hands. You could figure out what you do in the next two opponents and try to rout them as much as you can and get goal differential and hope Jamaica doesn't do so, and you still can win this group. So very much in your own hands. You want to avoid those tough teams on paper. That's all you can do.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.